Hi guys, welcome back. It's really been great to see how much growth has been here on the channel lately, and I really appreciate all of your comments and those of you who are subscribing. I do want to give you a little reminder that when I am hitting 6K over on Instagram, that I am going to be doing that big crystal giveaway, so make sure that you are following me over there so that you will be eligible when that comes up. And there's all kinds of fun things that are going on right now, some which I can share with you. And one of those things is that the brand new 22 Teachings candle line is now out. So we've got two candles so far. One is the Triple Blessings and one is the Magic is Real candle. They both have prayers that I've written. They both have crystals in the bottom. And these candles are available on the 22 Teachings website, as well as other things like our mugs and bags and of course the audio classes. So definitely go check that out. Link will be down below. And in addition to that, on the website, I've also got free astrological tarot classes. So there's a couple different series. You can read them right on the site. Just poke around on the 22 Teachings site because there is a ton of new stuff that's been added lately, and it's all there meant to be resources for you guys. So I don't want to delay in getting into what we're going to unbox today, or unbag, de-envelope. So this is a package I received from Angelica Bamundo. It came from Brooklyn, and we're going to go ahead and just get into it. So this is actually a package that I have not left sitting around for months. It's actually something that I just received recently, and there was a reason why I wanted to get this open for you guys a little bit sooner than later. And I think what you guys are gonna find is that this is something really cool and unique, and why I'm wearing my big hunk baseball shirt today will make a little bit more sense here in just a moment. It looks like there's a little bit more than just a deck of cards in here. Oh, cool. We got a bunch of stickers. All right. So right off the bat, let me show you guys this tarot deck. It is called the Arcana League. And you can see it says 2018 first edition of Arcana League, Major, Minor, Sacred, Profane. And really cute little box here, and you can see the baseball with the pentagram stitching on it. Very, very clever. And you might think, wait, baseball, tarot, what do those things have to do with each other? Well, let me tell you, this artist apparently thought that this was some uncharted territory, that there could be some place where those two seemingly completely different worlds actually intersect. And where they intersect is here in the Arcana League. I'll save these stickers to the end after we get into these cards. So the artist had shared with me that yes, there is not a huge overlap between tarot readers and baseball fans. And she really felt that there was an opportunity to take some creative liberties with that. So I'm going to go ahead and open these cards. They're more the size of regular playing cards. And on the back it says, look inside, 22 All-Star Major Arcana cards, 4 complete Minor Arcana teams, infinite divinatory possibilities, a one-of-a-kind meeting of two classic worlds, the first and only trading tarot baseball card deck. You're in Arcana League now. Now, of course, there is a history of baseball and cards, right? And so apparently some of her inspiration was old baseball cards and memorabilia and being able to put that together with the tarot. And I actually remember when I was a kid, there was a couple summers, you know, when I was younger, my parents, which they really still are, but when I lived with them, they were very, very into dog shows. They have Karen Terriers. They're like little Totos. And so part of the summer was always spent going around to these different dog shows, and we would go for a couple of weeks through Canada and go to a bunch of different shows over the course of a couple different weekends. And when you're on the road and you're road tripping like that and you're a kid, you have to have hobbies and things to keep yourself going. You know, I'm sure we did a lot of Mad Libs, played a lot of Yahtzee. And one of the things that I remember is collecting, there was like these books, you bought them at the supermarket, and then they had like baseball cards, except they were stickers. So you actually stuck them in the book and you bought the little 12 pack, just like the way I'm sure regular Topps baseball cards are. I never collected baseball cards, but I did collect those baseball stickers. And so, you know, you try to make the whole team. And I'm not that I really was a fan of any one particular team as a little kid. I was growing up in Seattle, so, you know, we had the Mariners there. But let's go ahead and get into these cards, shall we? And they obviously have, they're in black and white. They have that kind of motif. And already I can tell, like, they're just a little bit punk rock, aren't they? There's the back. And we see with the, again, the pentagram baseball, and we see the 4 suits right around here. So she did decide to keep the traditional suits except for the wands she made into baseball bats. Pretty clever, right? The first card says that this is 1, and it has cups down in the corner. So you can see this gal here, and she's got the ace, the 1 here on the back of her jersey. Here we have the 2 of cups, and there's a couple of players that are comforting each other there. Here is the 3, and you can always see the number on the jerseys. So what Ange said is that she had in mind that the 4 different suits were going to be the 4 different teams, and that the players were going to have the number on their jersey. So these cards are more like individuals than they are situations. They represent a certain kind of characteristic or a certain kind of personality. Now, I remember seeing this one, I think, on her Instagram, and I'll go ahead and leave all of her information, including Instagram, etc., below. But look at this 5 of Cups. So we see this guy, and we know that 5 of Cups is emotional challenges, right? Girl or guy, it's unclear, just crying into this cup, and it's pouring out in these streams here. There we have the 6, and this very sort of old-fashioned looking guy that's, do you guys see the inspiration here from the Rider-Waite? So if you remember in the 6 of Cups, there's children and there's adults, and it looks like he's signing these baseballs here for these little hands that are coming up here. And what she did say is that she is inspired by the Rider-Waite deck. And, you know, we definitely see that back here in the 5 as well. As normally you see that cloaked figure kind of bending over. All right, there is the 7 of Cups with all these different heads, kind of the illusion, right? There's the 8. Look at this one. That's pretty great, right? The mascot. And there's the 10. Oh, she's about to get splashed with the Gatorade, I guess. And then, this is interesting. Rather than a page, we have the 11. See, these are not going up in numbers. 11, 12. I'm assuming there's going to be 14. So this would basically be like the queen, the page, knight, queen, king. And you can see she's almost like a water elemental, as Cups is the suit of water, right? And then finally, we have 14 of Cups. He would be like the king. It looks like he's maybe like the announcer, the coach. I'm not sure. Okay, now we're jumping right into the major cards. So let's take a look at these. And we've got the Fool with a much more active and apparent dog here. It looks like, is that like a Borzoi? Is that what that kind of dog is? I don't know. I know about dogs a little bit, though, from going to all those dog shows when I was younger. Here we have the Magician, the High Priestess, she the pitcher, with the moon there behind her. There's the Empress. And if you can see up close on the back of her baseball jacket, she has that imagery that we would associate with the Empress, like beautiful greenery, and there's a little, there's some wheat down at the bottom there, and there's a river flowing through there. So we see how that ties in. Here's the Emperor, and there we go. He's got the Aries ram horns on there, and this little baseball bat has the symbol of Mars. Why? Because Mars is the ruler of Aries. So there are so many little clever details in here. Here's the Hierophant, and look, on his jacket, he has the little cross that the Hierophant holds, the little like bishop's cross. Very cool. There's the Lovers, yeah, going for it. The Chariot, the victory lap, right? Here is Strength. Again, we see a mascot there. Love that. And here's the Hermit. Definitely get that Hermit's lantern. And then the Wheel of Fortune. And so here we have all of the symbols, including the Hebrew letters and the alchemical symbols, all kind of swirling around there. There is Justice. Justice is the Empire, huh? They're making the calls. Well, that's pretty clever. Here we have the Hanged Man. There is Death. And this is an interesting card. And so we see this all of a sudden like this Japanese motif. And that's one of the things that Ange said was that because she had these liberties since she was combining these two very different worlds, that she didn't stop there. She pulled from other kinds of artistic influences as well. And one she mentioned was Japanese horror. So we see that there with these Japanese masks and like that samurai death. I love that. Here's Temperance. And you can also see there's like a little bit of like an anime influence. And then she also mentioned Judeo-Christian spiritualism as another one of her influences. There's the Devil, the classic Baphomet, a sign of Saturn there. As Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. And here we have the Tower. And again, it's just so very cool how she integrated the numbers into the images. So you see the little street sign here that says 16. And again, it's just very cool how she integrated the numbers here. So you can see the little 16 on there. There's the star. There it goes, right? And I also like that the little stars on the back of their baseball gloves. That's very cool. There we've got the moon and the sun. Oh, Judgment. And the ghosts of the past, right? Isn't this cool? There's the world, and we see the more classic interpretation. We see the 4 animals from Ezekiel's vision. So they represent the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. And then that ring, that victory wreath that we see in the world is down here, represented by the Ouroboros. Now, there's something really cool that she did in order to kind of create this universe where she imagines that this Arcana League exists and all of these characters and these players are a part of it. And there's something more than just the deck that the artist created, and it's called the Game-Day Grimoire, and it's basically a comic book that goes along with it. And in that, she gives a little bit more information and tells a little bit more about these different teams. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to read to you a little bit about what it says about this next team, which is the Swords. And as you can imagine, you know, the Swords in the tarot are a little bit more of the troublesome cards. So this team is probably, you know, a little bit more ruthless. So she says, the Swords are known for slicing through challenges, even when they're down and out in the final innings. This has often been the case in a season of loss and injuries. They've learned hard lessons, and now they bring the wisdom of experience to the field. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump forward here to the Wands. And she says, this fiery team always brings a fighting mentality to any game. The Wands never go down without a fight, thanks to a relentless sense of optimism. Hard slugging and quick as lightning around the bases, the Wands do run the risk of burning out if they don't use their energy wisely. Here we've got the 7 of Wands. Let's go ahead and look at our last team, the Pentacles. There's the 6. These are really cool, aren't they? I mean, talk about having a unique idea that nobody else has done. It's pretty great. There's the 8, and she says, perhaps the hardest working team in the league, the Pentacles are always ready to dig their cleats into the turf for a win. cooperating together like a well-oiled machine, they elevate the game to something higher. And I definitely feel like this artist has elevated the game here in creating this Arcana League. And one thing that's really exciting that's going on now is that these cards are actually being funded on Kickstarter. Now, I have told you guys before about decks that I've purchased on Kickstarter, and a lot of times that is where underground decks get their start and then become some of the most popular decks around. You know, the Light Visions Tarot, I did make a video about that one. It just started as a Kickstarter. And this particular deck is being funded for 1 month only, and it's this month, the month of June. So I think it's only through from June 1st to the 28th. And I went online to see how this deck is doing. Remember, it only gets funded if it reaches its goal, and it's already at 88% of its goal, and it's only been less than a week that it's even been up. So I have zero doubt in my mind that this deck is going to be funded. Now, what's really cool if you go ahead and get this deck while it's still in its funding mode and you get it from Kickstarter is, first of all, you know that the money's going to the artist and not necessarily to a publishing company directly. And then also there's all kinds of little rewards that you can get. So not only can you get the deck, but depending on the tier that you pledge, you can get other things as well. And one of those was the sticker set. So I'm going to share some of those with you guys. And then that Game-Day Grimoire that I told you about is also one of the things that you can get. And what I found, this is really cool. This is like the Arcana League sigil that she made there. One of the things that I thought was really, really cool that is being offered, and it's at a really, what I consider to be such a good value. If you pledge $100, which I know is a lot of money, but not for what you get, you actually receive one of the original ink illustrations from the deck. So to me, that is a pretty huge thing. And you get everything else. You get the deck, you get the stickers and everything. But to get the actual original artwork, don't you think that that's a pretty awesome deal? Oh, this little guy, how fun. And then we see this guy too. So this has been a really interesting deck to look at. I really love it, and I love unique decks, especially ones that come from the specific artist, and it's not like again, not one that you're buying from a publishing company. If you want to go ahead and support this artist, if you want to get your hands on this deck, definitely click the link down below. Let's just draw a single card, shall we? So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these. And we're just going to ask for one single message, if there's anything that would be helpful for us today to be aware of before we wrap up this video. Let's pose our question this way. Let's say, is there anything that we can work on? Anything that would be good for us to pay attention to and use as a little bit of a personal motivation? So I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck and draw the top card, and I'll show you guys first. Oh, Nine of Swords. Woo! Okay, so in the Nine of Swords, we see this person, and they're all strung up like a puppet, right? And each of these puppet strings, this is like all of the things that we let take our power away. And it's all the things that we stress out about. And it's all the things that we make as kind of like excuses in our life because of this and because of this and because of that person and this situation. And all, like I have no control over my life. Now, this might not look like a very good message, but this message is actually not just a statement of this is the way things are. Remember, what our intention was when we pulled a card was help us with something that we can work on, something that we can see as a motivation or an inspiration. And this would be, in my mind, the message that is, don't let anybody else pull the strings in your life. Don't give your power away to things that really are in and of themselves tiny. Now, if every single one of these is pulling you at the same time, you can feel that you're powerless. But if you can just go ahead and clip these things one at a time, then you're going to find that you have more and more movement with every one that you release. So get out of your head, get out of your excuses, center yourself in your center. And the other thing that this card can be telling you is it's okay to take a moment and just get some rest and just allow yourself to just hang in there. You're going to be okay. All right. So thanks you guys so much for joining me at this really cool look at the Arcana League, and go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure and check out all the links below. Again, if you are interested in the merchandise and the classes, go and visit my website, 22 Teachings, and I'll see you guys all soon. Bye.